everybody. This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show. And folks, my guest this time is J.M. Brady from J360 Radio, also a filmmaker. And what did we do on this episode? We handled some serious podcast business, everybody. To heck with Fort Knox, I've got some podcast gold coming for you right now. We discuss filmmaking, the NFL, growing up on the East Coast, the UFC, whooping people's behinds. We cover a lot of things on this episode, and you, my friends, will enjoy it, I promise you. So, are you ready for the conversation between me and J.M. Brady? Of course you are. So let's do it. Hello, good sir.
Oh my goodness, S-Man, how's it?
Not bad, good sir. Not bad at all. And yourself?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well, man. Don't have COVID yet. I'm good.
Let's make sure that you got to kind of hide in the house.
Well, yeah, I would. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm taking refuge though. We don't call it hiding here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but avoiding.
Yeah. See, that works.
Now, introduce yourself to the folks, my friend. You've never been on this show before, and this is your first time. Introduce yourself to the folks around the world.
All right. Oh, the world, huh? Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the J-Man Show. I'm J-Man from J360 Productions, a.k.a. or J360 Radio, whichever you would like to say, the production company located in Delaware. I specialize in radio, TV, and film. Right now, currently sitting here chilling with my good friend and mentor, S. Anthony Thomas. And if you ever want to check out some of my stuff, you can go ahead and take a look at it at Spreaker.com/J360Radio or J360Radio.podbean.com. And I'm available all over many different podcasting networks.
Yeah, you see the thing. The thing is, everybody, what you're listening to is basically young me.
Hey, I am honored, sir. I mean, we do come out of the same area, you know.
Yeah. You also had some. I'm originally from Philly. Are you from Delaware?
Believe it or not, yes, I'm actually born and raised from Delaware.
You know, for those of you listening, even though I'm a Philly kid, I've done literally probably hundreds of shows in Delaware. And you were like one, and this is the craziest thing. Of all the people I know from Delaware, I think you have now pushed me into double digits to 10 of the people that were actually born there.
Woo! See, that's a record.
Out of about out of hundreds, because I'll be honest, I love Delaware, I do.
Delaware's okay, but I mean, if you're from here. Chances are you'll want to branch out and go to different areas. And Philly's one of my knock around parts, just like Baltimore is, or any section along the shore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. See,
I love the East.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, I lived in LA for the 90s. Dudes from the East Coast, Philly, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Boston, we gravitate to each other almost like magnets.
Oh, yeah. We know each other, bro. That's just the way it is.
It's like we don't even have – it's like you were literally – I think – what are you like? You're like 33?
Yep, 33.
Okay, I'm 51. And normally 33-year-olds and 51-year-olds, they kind of pass each other. Hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. But when you're from the East Coast and you're from these areas, it doesn't matter. I got friends that are like 70.
No. Exactly. It does not matter, dude. We resonate. We know each other. It's like, hey, you from Washington, aren't you? Yeah. Where you from? Yeah, I'm from Delaware, man. Dover, Delaware. Like, oh, snap.
Oh, I'm so glad you said Washington. Oh, my God. I'm so glad you put that in there because I didn't mention Washington just now. And oh my God, like 3 seconds after this comes out, I would get like phone calls. Oh, so you don't recognize? So you don't remember us? Huh?
Oh, come on, man. Who doesn't know Washington? They're there. They're just not at the high point. That's all. You know what I mean? They're usually like on my list after New York.
Yeah, it's really weird because when you look at the when you watch the news, they always show New York and Washington. I'm going, I don't know if you know this, but there's a city that's 4 times bigger that's in there somewhere that you might want.
Exactly. It's like right there. It's like, come
It's
on,
like,
man. We'll never ever forget
it's like,
Washington.
really, what's going on there? Now, I want to ask you this because you have, I think, like I have 2 podcasts. I have my original podcast and this one, and you have, I think, 75 shows.
Well, I have 6, but yeah, okay.
Because I was listening, you had bands on. Because I was thinking about doing something like that, and you had singers on the show, and I didn't, because I knew that you played music, but I mean, is that something that you were really interested in doing? Because obviously you're doing the filmmaking that would entail music as well. But I mean, are you a big music guy?
Oh, big time, S man, big time.
Okay, what do you listen to? What's your groove, man? Who's your go-to?
Oh shoot. Honestly, I listen to any and everything, man. The only music I can't get into is bluegrass entirely. But I listen to blues, I listen to jazz, I listen to right now I'm on the synthwave movement, which is a lot of electronica
Mhm.
music. And then also you got dubstep, you got DJ mixes because sometimes it's experimental, and then psychedelic rock, hard rock, mellow rock, you name it, I'm in it. Even classical.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird because like there's always one style of music that everyone, oh, I listen to everything. What about this? Nah.
Oh man, like yeah, the only one I can't do, man, is that deep bluegrass stuff. I just can't get into it.
You know what the weirdest thing about music that you don't like, and it always happens.
Uh,
There's always one artist in that genre who will put out a song and you will listen to it and you're going, ah, got me.
yep. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to do that. I mean, there's gonna be somebody, maybe one of those, maybe somebody as old as you or young as me or younger, that's gonna take a banjo and just gonna go ahead and just and then say some right lyrics to it and pull us all in.
Because it's like I didn't even. It's like I was driving in the car and like I'm not a country music guy. Okay, I'm not saying I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I listen to a little bit of Johnny Cash, if it's on the radio, but I don't. It's like to me, country music is something that if it happens to pop on and I hear something I like, I'll go. I'm not turning from this. All right, it's not like I'm
Yeah,
going,
right.
yeah, country. No, but but but
Yeah.
that damn Garth Brooks with that "Friends in Low Places" song.
Oh man, that song will suck you right
Damn
in,
him.
won't it? It's like a hole. It will come right on. You see, because Delaware is notorious for this. They used to have this huge country music station here called
Mhm.
Cat Country, and they used to play all of his stuff all the time, man. So it's like you'll always know Garth Brooks, and then you'll always know Billy Ray Cyrus and all the rest of them. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
come on.
here's another one. There's another song, and this is it was there's an artist. I was watching The Apprentice back before I knew that the person who was the host of the show would turn out to be right. So this is back in the day, and there
Right.
was an artist on the song, was a country artist. Now he's the big tall guy, talks like this, got the beard and mustache and all that thing there. Yeah, yeah. And he's got the hat on, and I was like, let me hear what this guy's music because he seemed all right on the show. He has a song. His name is Trace Atkins, and he has a
Uh
song called "Whoop a Man's Ass."
huh.
I defy you to listen to that song. It's like even if you hate country music, you're gonna listen to the song and you're going, damn it. it's like
well, well, yeah. With that title alone, I'm already hooked. It's like whoop a man's ass,
if you
huh?
cross that line, you gotta whoop a man's ass sometime.
Whoop a
I was
man's
like, oh
ass.
my God, I'm laughing my ass off. And then somebody got a hold of him. I think some hip
Oh,
hop guys got a hold of him, and he did a song called Honky Tonk Bidonkadonk or something like that. Okay, now I
oh
don't like the
snap.
song, but I every once in a while it'll pop up on YouTube or something, and I'll watch it and literally laugh for about 4 minutes. I'm going, "What are you doing, dude?" You know, it's like, why? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. I'm like, oh my
In
god.
the blue hell are you doing? Because that's a weird thing about social media is like as people like you and I, we're on social media obviously because we have to use it for our art form and everything. I mean, because you're on there a lot too, and you also like me, you do solo podcasts and you express your opinions for like 35, 40 minutes, just like I do. And this is. Do you get? I mean, I know you get attacked on social media. We always get that.
Oh yeah, we get it sometimes.
God! But did you ever get the weird email yet?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, people go, "How come you don't talk about where you live anymore?" I'm going, let me show you all these emails I got. Because 98% of the people, no, I'll even say 99% of the people that come into contact with you or who will write you are fantastic. But then you get the, hey, JM, listen. J sounds like my Aunt Faye. M, I had an M car. So we're like the same dude, right? So I think that the only person that can understand me is you. And I think I should move into your porch and live there, And when you go out, I could protect your house. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you could adopt me even though I'm 40. So, me going, oh, wow. I mean, and I feel bad. I don't want to make fun, but it's like, oh, because the thing is, people know who you are. People know who I am. And people are listening in different countries. And they can see you and know things about you, but you know nothing about them.
Yeah, and that's the scariest thing because they can go and make different accounts too. But excuse me a minute, S-Man, I got to go load my gun.
Oh man, really? Yeah, because my anti-tank weapons are in the backyard, and
yeah, you got to make sure you're always ready. You know what I mean? Second Amendment rights here, pal.
Excuse me, my 3 pit bulls with hepatitis are fighting right now. Stop it, guys. Okay, sorry.
That's just one of them things, man. Like as soon as that stuff pops up, it's like, I'm glad you support my show, but at the same time, dude, I'm not going to help you overthrow the state government. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, yeah, I had somebody send me that crap. I was like, what? I'm not doing that.
My God. Yeah, it's like people. I often wonder. Like I was just watching earlier today on Netflix. I was watching. Did you see the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan thing?
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
Yeah, because I missed the last 3, so I watched the last 3 today, and it just reminds me. Obviously, I was an adult when he was at his height, and I forgot just how famous the bastard was, even though there was no social media. And I'm going, just imagine something happened tomorrow, and on your flagship show, you started pulling down Joe Rogan numbers. And everybody knew who you were all of a sudden. You couldn't walk outside without everybody knowing who you were. Or you shot a film and it went nuts. You know what I mean? And, I mean, part of you wants that level of success, and there's another part that's like, nah.
Yeah, I mean that's true. See, that's why I created episode 54 of the mini bites, pretty much. That was me telling it like it was, man. I was like, one way or another, my whole presence here is to build J360 Productions and to be a job creator and to provide for my community, in addition to show others that they can make it if they work hard enough for it. But at the same time, there are other people out there that will try to take advantage of your growth as where you're trying to get to be. Like some people will say, what, forget your growth, help me grow. Take a look at all these about me and stuff like that. It's like, that's not how it works. It's supposed to be unity and everything. Like if you get tired of growing in the entertainment part, you'll know your time to leave. You know what I mean? You'll know your time where you gotta sit down, take a rest period, get away from all this stuff because it will eat you alive if you let it. And you see, I always knew, like, I always made my choice of how I was going to go about this, especially when the popularity rises. Because there are people out there that will say, hey, you're J-Man. Oh, J-Man's awesome. Hey, could you go ahead and do the intro for your show? All that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm in the mood, yeah, I don't mind doing it. But then after a while, it's like, yeah, no, not doing that right now. Oh, my throat hurts. Yeah, I got COVID. Get away. Things like that. You
It's
know?
really weird because when I did the original podcast, it was it still is. That podcast is basically probably always going to be just me ranting, right? All the stuff will
Right.
be on this show, but it's just a weird thing when people, uh, I had, you get the weird people, the people who are disturbed, and then you get the people that aren't disturbed, and they were very similar to what you were talking about. They kind of want things from you, and one guy was sending me promos for a book or something like that, and I was going, that'd be kind of interesting, but then he started to get like really because I have guests all the way out to a certain point, and if you go too far with guests, that's when you start having people that aren't necessarily flaky, but things happen if you book 6 months out, you know, sometimes. So, um, and he just started getting like really annoyed and aggressive and angry, you know. Get
Mm-hmm.
back to me, man. I'm like, I did get back to you. I told you that I can't do anything right now because I'm so, you know, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm like I said, we're East Coast guys. You know where you know what your first instinct is.
Oh
When
yeah.
someone starts mouthing off, you know.
Yeah. You got to go ahead and try to silence that stuff. Make sure you know what they're talking
And I'm
about.
sitting there going, uh-huh. I said, and now and I'm sitting there going, the West Philly in me is starting to come up right now.
Right.
The West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Born is all the playgrounds where you spent most of your
Yeah,
days.
most of my days whooping people's ass who acted like that.
Well, you kind of had to, man. I mean, it's one of them kind of things. Like, see, sometimes I show, like, nowadays I show a little bit of restraint, little bit. But a long time ago, hell no.
Yeah, exactly, because you're 33. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
33 is like that's right, like right around my mid to late 20s. I started thinking, I was like, I really don't have to slap this guy in the head. I never smacked anyone or popped anyone that didn't swing at me first. I'm not dumb. No,
Right.
but I
Right.
mean, let's be honest. There are times when you're like, "Oh, please, God, let him swing. Please, I want to drop kick this bastard so bad. Please let."
Exactly.
like you see the fist coming, and you going, and he's punches slow.
Yep.
This is going to be easy. Wow. And then
Yep.
and then after you get to a certain age, you just get to the point where you're going, and you just walk away, and that's where you are.
Yeah.
It's like, eh,
Yeah.
I ain't got time for this crap to deal with this idiot.
Yeah. It's like your reasoning develops after 30. I don't know what it is.
Called being smart, damn it. Because you
Well, hey, I was smart when I was in my 20s anyway. It's just I like fighting.
let me let put it to you this way. You were intelligent when you were in your 20s.
Well, yeah, let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
but if anytime you were engaging in the fist fights when there's cement underneath you, that ain't smart. Yeah,
No, not at all, sir.
we grew up in you grew up in the neighborhood. You know better than that because you know how things can turn bad really quickly. You know,
It starts exciting, but then it goes the other
yeah,
way.
because it's like I feel because it's like when you watch now when you see the like the Karens and going wild on the internet now.
Oh yeah, the Karens, the Chads, and the Stevens.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's like now obviously I don't have the end. I don't want to pop a lady in the face. But when these dudes like I almost want to just take a job at a Walmart and be the guy that tells people they can't come in because they don't have a mask on.
Right. I saw that
You
crap.
know, and I'm sitting there going, you really willing to risk going to jail or getting beaten up by someone bigger than you to get into Walmart?
Yeah.
I mean, is there someone attacking your child in the Walmart, or is there a time bomb in the parking lot and the only safe place to stay away from the explosion is in the Walmart? No.
The worst part of all that stuff, S man, is people will find a reason to do whatever and whenever, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, like, there's a website that's called peopleofwalmart.com
Oh,
where you see it, and some of that stuff is funny, but it's also very sad because they think they're above and beyond. They think they do not have to do any sort of precautions at all against even COVID-19 or being accountable for what goes on during Black Lives Matter. It could be a whole bunch of things. If it's something that disrupts their worldview, they don't know how to handle it, and they'll go that crazy. So at their own risk, that's why life comes in the form of beating that ass.
Yeah, it's just such a weird. Because let me ask you this, because I was wondering about this, because I was in New Jersey when the protests were happening, when people were knocking through windows and crap like that. And how bad did your area get it?
Well, let's see.
Okay.
Over in Wilmington, they tore the hell out of Market Street.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And because see, like in Delaware, it's amazing, man, because it goes down the line.
Mm-hmm.
See, if New York starts rioting, then chances are we look to see what Philly does. If Philly starts going all crazy, which it's known to do, then Wilmington starts to pop. And when Wilmington pops, comes right down to Dover all the way to Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a line. And you see, the thing is, like, we had our small protests around the area I'm at, but nothing really happened. About the most it went to was Wilmington.
I mean, did you? Because I went out. I went down, drove down to Philly, and I was just curious. I said, you know what? I know I'm not technically supposed. I said, I don't want to run into any idiots, but I got to see what my old neighborhood looks like. I just had. So I drive to West Philly, and I mean, I felt bad because it was like I had just been there maybe 3 months earlier, so I know what, and that's all my old area, so I know what it looks like, and I know what none of the businesses had changed in 3 months, and all of a sudden you go down there and the Rite Aids were absolutely eviscerated.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I didn't even know you could. I mean, it was like it looked. You watch those Avengers movies or Hulk movies and Superman movies where he just bends steel.
Oh yeah, there was no area there anymore, was there?
I couldn't. It was like they bent, and I'm glad I filled up the damn car before I came down, because the gas stations were closed because people smacked those up too.
Ooh, snap!
So they smacked up gas stations. Lord, I went to the banks got smacked up, McDonald's got smacked up, supermarkets got smacked up.
Oh yeah.
But here's the funny thing: I'm driving past the street, and this whole thing, the supermarket's blasted. You can see all the stuff all out in the street. The Rite Aids all smacked up and everything. They did not touch the Wendy's.
Ain't nobody come to see Wendy's. That's why. nobody cares about Wendy's at all, dude.
They did.
Like, for some reason, oh god, they wanted to smash up and make a point with everything, but they were like, nah, the hell with Wendy's. Wendy's ain't important.
And here's the thing: how the Wendy's are made now, where the whole thing is glass.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it was like the Wendy's was on the other side of a wormhole. But if you go down the block the other way, they F that McDonald's up.
Shoot. They went for things that really represent the black community. Ain't nobody think about no damn Wendy's in the black community. I mean, chances are, and I hate to say this because I don't want to sound a certain way, but hell, I already do. I'm J-Man, remember? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Like, chances are it's either McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, KFC. And then to a point, it's probably Taco Bell, but it ain't no fucking Wendy's or Arby's, man. They just,
it was, you could see trails of stuff that were taken, like a person carrying too much stuff when they're running away. You could see it like, right. And that trail of stuff went past the Wendy's, so it's not like they didn't see it. And it's not. And then I go to another place, didn't touch the Chinese food stores.
Well, didn't want to get sick.
They were like,
that.
No. I was like, wow. It was like how people were selective with their and here's another thing: the dollar store. Nobody touched it. I mean, not an actual. You know how it is in the hood. It's not actually a dollar store. We all call it the dollar store, but it's really not a dollar store. It's basically, they sell low. You see like you can buy a screwdriver for 79 cents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the side market, the corner store, thing like that.
It's like one of those, and they open up. Hey, and the funny thing about it was, or maybe the disappointing thing about it was, literally, at first you're thinking, man, that's really weird, but then you start to think about the other part of it, and essentially, if all the pharmacies are jacked up, then that means that people that are literally taking medication can't.
Yeah, like that ruins them. But you see, they ain't thinking about that. They want to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the problem is with people that want to prove a point is they never think about that point. Like some people actually destroy their own neighborhoods. Oh, and I almost forgot too. I was like, my area was okay, right? But I almost forgot about Washington D.C. and Baltimore because they're like right there.
Oof.
So I don't want them to ding your show, and be like, "Oh, you forgot about us again?" No, it's just that once again, y'all weren't relevant at the time. But you are.
And they would have got me too. I swear to goodness, I know too many people down there. And I'm glad you said Baltimore too. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. They would have been like, "Oh, so you remember all the shows you did down here?" So it's gonna be like that. So we sold out all.
Shoot, hey man, East Coast people, East Coast, we gotta protect each other.
You sold out all those shows down there for you, and you mention this. I'm like, did you really want to be mentioned during the riot section of the show? Is that what you?
I mean, yeah, right. You don't want to be here. This ain't about you right now. Go back. Go back.
To be mentioned in the riot section, and
right.
And it was just an interesting thing because I get it. I know why everybody freaked out. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know. See, I don't see what is the Delaware. See, I've never been pulled over in Delaware.
Well, you know what? You came at the right time because they go after anybody for anything now. Tourist money.
I mean, because I was like, because I mean, because I did a lot of shows in Delaware, like a whole bunch of them, and and Baltimore and Washington D.C. and stuff. I got pulled. I got pulled over in New Jersey a bunch of times, but I mean, I was coming out of New York, and I knew what that was. It's like a legal lane change. I'm going. I literally just pulled in off of the freeway into one lane, and I illegally, what I'm saying? Come on, man, But I never got pulled over in Delaware because I don't even remember. It's been a while since I've been there, because I was just wondering about because you're a native of there, and I don't even know. I mean, do you? I know you got the straight shot to Baltimore and Virginia, DC and Virginia. So I know you get a little of that South action going on sometimes. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, have you felt any differently walking around Delaware? Have you felt any more of a tension with people regarding you walking in with looking like you look and looking like I look?
More so than usual. Let's see. No, not really. Not really. It's about the same.
Because I was.
I mean, I'm sure there's some people that are eager to want to try something, but no, nothing out of the ordinary, man. I haven't gotten pulled over and stuff and things, but I'm always looking to see like where the cops are, because if anything, I think they're hiding. Because somebody went around here to face one of their murals of fallen officers and things. And not only that, peed on the state flag, so they got no problem.
It's just a weird time because obviously, like my parents and maybe your grandparents will be telling you stories, about what happened then in their time, when they were young, and the civil rights era and things of that nature and all of that. And so, like when you ever seen have you ever seen Eyes on the Prize, the documentary?
Oh yeah, okay. I've seen it.
So, and just imagine now we're looking at it. I watched it as a young person. So did you, obviously. But just imagine them. They're watching that out the window. They're watching that on the news, just like people after us now. When I get old and you get older, they be like, "So you mean to tell me you had a pandemic?" And the dude running the country acted like it wasn't happening. Yeah. Yes, kids, that's happened.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, kids, that happened.
You cannot deny the fact that nonsense happened.
It's really weird.
And it's to the point. Oh, guess what? He's now running around acting like he was a part of it too, because he has to wear a mask.
I'll be honest with you. I'm just now, even after all this time, I'm just now getting used to putting a damn mask on.
It's true. I mean, there are times like, see, I got the great almighty Philadelphia Eagles mask, so I don't have a problem wearing that.
I'm glad that you have acknowledged your eagledom.
You
That's
know
great.
it.
That's great. Because I explained to people, I'm like, yeah, Delaware is ours.
Pretty
Like,
much.
well, probably 75% of Delaware is Eagles, and I'm pretty there might be some Baltimore losers in there, but
Oh yeah, they're, they're here. They're here, by the way. Yeah, they're out there sitting there, but nobody thinks about them.
that's the funniest thing in the world is when you like if you're in South Jersey, that's Eagle country.
It
But as
sure
soon as you
is.
get past the central part of New Jersey and you go up there, it's the Giants idiots.
Yeah, yeah. They always come out of the woodwork talking about their time, Eli Manning. But then again, these are the same people that thought Geno Smith was going to do something for them. Not to mention McAdoo's great coaching. So yeah, great.
What do you think? Are you ready for that to come back?
Oh, oh. Well, I don't know. That's not my problem. I'm not a
No, no,
Giants
like
fan,
football.
Oh hell yeah, I'm ready for football to come back.
I'm,
I just I know we still had that problem about no fans going to the stadium and stuff, but I'm ready for us to come back. It's just like, I mean, what can you do right now? We have to get that pandemic under
I have
control.
never actually. I've never been to a Philadelphia Eagles game. Have
Oh
you been to a
really?
Philadelphia Eagles game?
No, not
Yeah,
yet.
because I don't know what those. I mean, it's like I've been to Phillies games. I've been to Sixers games, the Sixers
hmm
playoff game.
Yeah,
I,
Sixers games are
yeah,
nice.
man. I mean, if you get an opportunity too, though, if you get an opportunity to go, have you ever been to the Philly Stadium?
Of
Good
course.
God, man. It's like the field of dreams when you come up the damn escalator.
Yes, it is it is a beautiful
I
area,
can,
man. And I mean,
good.
like I can say the same thing for the Flyers too, but that's still the Sixers stadium, you know. So it's like it's just
Oh, that's right. I
amazing.
did see you were wearing like Flyers stuff on one of your on some photos, right?
Oh yeah, like I'm a Flyers fan too. I love hockey.
You've been to Flyers games?
It's amazing. I know. Like some people always say, "How the hell do you like hockey?" I was like, "The Mighty Ducks came out in
Now
1990,"
I've played.
and I was like,
Yeah. So, I mean,
and I just fell in love with the
I
sport.
mean, the thing is, I can see like when I watch hockey, and I completely ignore the regular season. I'll be honest with you.
Right?
And if the Flyers aren't in the playoffs, I completely ignore the playoffs. I mean, you know what I mean? But I watch them
Yeah, it's one of them kind of moments.
because I mean, the last time they won, I was like a kid, like a single digits age, you know. So obviously you didn't exist yet. But
Nah,
like,
nah, I didn't at all.
so it's like it's just a weird thing. But I remember going to I did go to I went to the Super Bowl parade.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing a video of you saying that you were gonna go. I was like, he damn sure
Oh
better
man,
go.
that was the weirdest thing. I've never been around like a million people crammed into an area before, and that was just the weirdest thing in the world to stand because I know my city, and I know that if there's a bunch of people crammed together like that, and somebody steps on someone's foot or accidentally bumps into somebody, I saw hardcore street brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like the kind of dudes that when I grew up, I knew that you sneeze too hard. What? You mother jumper? All of a sudden,
Yeah, but yeah, but it didn't happen, right? Everybody was all united, having a good time, and
I I'd never
oh,
seen anything. I saw a dude with brand new. They probably were Jordans. I mean, you could tell that the dude was probably still spit shining them. He probably stops every 30 seconds to shine these sneakers. Dude, like just with some boots or something, stomped right across the nose of him. And I'm standing behind on him going, oh my. And they're both way bigger than me. So I'm like, oh man. You know, it's like I'm pressed against the wall and I'm going, I'm probably gonna have to eat like 3 or 4 shots before I can get away from these dudes. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna swing back at him. It's like ah. And then the brother looks at him, turns around, and goes, "Oh, hey man, no sweat. You good? Thought you were gonna fall down there for a minute. All right, man, take care, man. EAGLES Eagles." And then he walked away. And I'm going, the magic of winning the Super Bowl.
History was made, man. That's the thing. We were all waiting for this. And when it happened, we had no choice but to cheer, man. We were all united. If anything, we achieved Dr. King's dream that day.
Yeah, he's like, this is going to be good for 3 months. You know?
You damn right. Oh, and I was living it up, man. Like, I had an original co-host for, like, that's when I was doing the sports show, the Cyclone, and he was all, like, trying to talk about Cleveland. But I said, get the hell off of here. This is history. Philadelphia Eagles time, man. This is Eagles Day. Woo!
If you were doing the Cyclone in Cleveland, nobody want to hear about it. About Cleveland.
Hell no. Exactly. Like Cleveland is so irrelevant at this point. And I think this is when LeBron was about to leave. Yeah. He was going into free agency. He was trying to talk about that. Like, nobody want to talk about that shit.
That's like, I'm sitting there going, I don't like when he did the decision. I'm taking my talents to Miami. And the city was mad. I'm like, guys, you knew he was leaving.
Right. And then not only that, I don't know what it is, man. Have you heard like people saying LeBron's gonna win the chip by himself? I'm like, he never wins the chip by himself. He didn't win it the first time when he got his first ring. That was what helped from Wade and Bosh, but okay.
Like, guys, nobody wins the chip by themselves.
Nobody.
I mean,
but
Michael Jordan, who's better than you, didn't win the chip by himself.
Hell no, he had a great supporting cast, which is called The Last Dance.
And he also had to play. I mean, and I know my nephew's listening to this, and I just want to take this time to go. First of all, I know right now you're sitting in your truck, going, "Hey, Unc, LeBron is better." First of all, shut up.
No, he ain't.
First of all, shut up, punk. I'm not going to curse you out because you brought me a burrito last time you came to New Jersey. But he went to Cadoba, got me a burrito. I'm going to be nice to you this time. But no, he's not. I mean, I dig him. He's great. But just go watch The Last Dance, boy. I shouldn't say boy, the dude's like 28. Go watch The Last Dance, dude. You got Netflix. You sit there
it's all on there now.
And watch all of it. It's 10 episodes. In fact, you ain't got to watch all 10. All you need to do is watch like 7, 8, or 9 to understand, what.
The first 5 will change his opinion entirely. Hell, I mean, let's just be real.
The hilarious thing about it is because there's no sports now. When you watch like a ESPN or those talk shows, it's kind of funny because they literally are trying their best to manufacture anything to talk about and anything for a hot take. And I like Max Kellerman with Stephen A. Smith. I like that show. I dig it. I like Max Kellerman probably 95% of the time. But that other 5% of the time, you know what he does.
Oh, yeah. Grasping at straws, pulling, throw a little bit more politics in there than need be when you just want sports.
And what's even worse than that is he always has to somehow bring it back to trashing Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
and as I'm sitting there going, why are you doing it? I'm telling you right now, he has elite abilities, but he's not elite.
Wait. So what the hell does that mean then? You know what I mean?
Like, listen, I know that I know Shaq is 7 feet tall, but 3 people in the history have been taller. So he's not, in essence, really that tall?
So in a way, he's doing a dick measuring campaign. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, like when you really think about it, like none of that stuff means anything, man. These buzzwords and crap. That's like sitting there listening to Chris Collingsworth telling us about what that last play was and how it reminded him of a guy that there's a guy.
It's like when I was watching the Super Bowl, I was like, I can't. When I was watching, for those listening, when I talk about the Super Bowl, I'm talking about the only Super Bowl that mattered in the history, which was the one the Eagles won. When I was and I listened to Chris Collinsworth call, and I'm going, did you bet on the New England Patriots?
Oh man, he was riding that New England's cock hard, man. I was like, you should have seen the look on his face when they tried to say that it wasn't a throw. And it was like it obviously was, but then everybody was like, Des Bryant. I was like, no, shut the hell up. It's not about Desi right now. You missed out on that, and you're trying to screw this. No, it is a catch.
God Almighty! Because the funny thing about it is, this only sport that's really going on right now, and it's my second favorite sport. Now, your favorite sport is what?
Shoot, man. I got too many of them.
I know. Yeah, I know. But I would say, come on now.
All right. My top one would be football. My second one would be basketball, and then my third is baseball.
Okay, and I'm similar, except I'm number one football, number two MMA.
Oh, okay. See, you didn't say that. You said ball.
It's sports, damn it.
Oh yeah. Hey, how are things on Fight Island? Because I didn't get to see the last one.
It's really weird watching that without the people there. Buffer doesn't care. Buffer comes out, they're fighting out of this corner. He doesn't, but it's part of this thing about it is the juice from the audience.
Well, yeah, somewhat, but I don't know about you, but like when I used to catch some of that, I would always transcend because somebody's getting wrecked. You know what I'm saying? One way or another, that blood and guts just appearing in the octagon like that usually just wipes out all the crowd noise for me because I'm looking at the person. I'm like, nah, man, where your hands at? Where your hands at? Oh, you don't have them no more.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it's one of those weird things because I've been watching that sport from when it started. So back then, back then, literally, you could punch guys in the nuts.
There were no rules.
The only thing you couldn't do is is they said no fish hooking. That basically means you can't put your finger in a body cavity and pull.
That's right.
But you couldn't gouge anybody in the eyes. But I literally saw a guy. It was this Asian brother, and I'm telling you, I would never get into a fight with this dude ever. He's being held down by another guy. He's choking another guy. Now, while he's choking the guy is literally hitting him with right hooks directly to the ball sack. And he didn't let go.
Oh, he's transcended to the point where, hitting him in the nuts is feeling good to him, man. It ain't even pain at that point. It's pleasure. He's liking that. That's why it's
it'll be kind of funny after the fight. He walks back he goes into the locker room. Hey, man, want to get a drink or something? And, put me the balls a few more times.
Hey, that's nice enough for you to say that because I don't think he'd say anything. I think he would have just gave him $20 in a letter and said thank you.
Because
things like that.
Well, do you watch? I mean, is it something that you watch normally? Because I know if you watch football, obviously there's a visceral reaction to somebody getting clocked in football.
Oh man, shoot! Remember when I told you I was a hockey fan too? That's why I watch hockey. But I also love MMA because of the bouts and stuff. I just haven't caught it recently.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, if I turn to a hockey game and I see a dude throw the stick down and the gloves come off, I'm going, I think I'll watch this.
Brother, it is visceral. I love it. like all sorts of things. I'm waiting for somebody to just pull up a skate and stab somebody. It's just getting wild
Oh yeah,
now.
so if the ratings dip, they'll probably have skates with those little with like electric saws on the bottom of them. You can chop somebody's leg up. Have some Thunderdome Mad Max going on in there.
Oh, you damn right. We're getting to that point of rollerball
I just
nowadays. But when watching
oh
MMA,
go ahead. No,
huh?
I was just shifting in my chair. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, watching MMA though, I love it. Like I said, whenever like the Cyborg fight that happened with her and
Dude,
Nunes, Cyborg was getting
ooh,
old. Cyborg was getting old, bro. She held her own, yes, but Nunes was just ready.
it's really see everybody talks about like when you see a professional athlete, especially a football player or a basketball player, because hockey players they're like 6 feet. I mean they're not all huge like this. Some of them are big, but they're not big like football players and basketball players. Baseball players, they're big guys
Exactly.
too, but they're not all monsters like the basketball players, football. So you look at them and you're intimidated. Oh, look at the size of that guy. But those aren't the ones to be afraid of. If you want to be afraid of a professional athlete, it is someone good enough. It doesn't even have to be a star. Anyone good enough to be signed by the UFC because they've trained their body not only to kill people, they've trained their body to kill other killers.
That's it.
And so when I was watching you brought up the Nunes Cyborg fight. Remember, Cyborg was at the time the scariest woman
Uh-huh.
on the planet. On the
Uh-huh.
planet. I mean, and I was wondering. I was sitting there going, I wonder if they're trying to keep Rousey away from her for a while. Ronda Rousey.
Well, you see, Rousey is not nothing like Cyborg, man. It's like night and day. Cyborg is a friggin' grappler, and she got punch combos. She's got a boxing background. Rousey didn't have a boxing background. That's why she lost against Holly
Oh, I
Holm.
knew that was going to be bad. So, I mean, as soon as they said she was fighting Holly Holm, I'm going, oh, she's going to get her nose broken.
And not only that, she didn't train for the fight either. It was
Hey,
awful. It
let's
was a
be
shit
honest.
show.
A fight week is 6 to 8. A fight camp is 6 to 8 weeks. Holly Holly Holm is
Exactly.
an 18-time kickboxing and boxing champion. Her muscle
Mm-hmm.
memory for throwing kicks and punches is fine-tuned at such a point that you better that I'm literally watching the fight. I'm going, only way she's going to win this fight is if she can get her hands around her and put her on the ground. She tried to do the judo flip. Holly Holm blocked it, and I went, that's her ass.
I don't know why you would even try to grapple somebody. Now, if it was somebody like me like that,
Mm-hmm.
S-Man, I would know who my enemy is, and I would try my best to counterattack their skill point. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't use judo or any sort of grappling things on somebody like that. You got to use punching ability and kicking ability.
Well, here's the thing. I
Which
don't ever remember her throwing a kick.
I think didn't Holly throw the kick or did
No,
Holly throw the
Holly. No,
punch?
Holly. Well, Holly was. Holly was. I don't think Holly missed her face. I, I mean, like
Not at
every
all.
because like
Uh,
it was like literally it was like every punch was landing square in Rhonda's mouth, and then you remember when she was getting clocked. Her manager was going head movement, head movement. Like her head is
yeah.
moving back when Holly punches her in the face.
Yeah, exactly. But you see, she also didn't roll with the damn punch either. Because I mean, those were
Yeah,
fresh hits.
it's like when Conor McGregor was fighting Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, even as
Exactly.
old as he was, he's seen every punch combination. So
Mm-hmm.
you think you're throwing a punch, he's already looking at you like, I already know what's coming. I'm not going to be there when you throw the punch.
Yep.
Only thing you're going to get is shoulder, and then I'm going to punch you in the
Yep.
mouth. They- if you actually go back and watch Floyd Mayweather's fights in slow motion, you can literally see him looking at the guy like, this guy's got to be kidding me throwing this. You got to be kidding me. I'm not even going to do. I'm not even going
Right.
to be there. And he's like 8 inches away from the punch, and then he comes back and smacks you right a clean shot in the face. That's why, as old as he is, he still has all his marbles because no one's been hitting him in the face.
That's true.
No one's clocking it.
Because if it was really that bad, he'd be just like old boy from Harlem Nights who can hardly speak. Well,
Yeah,
you remember
yeah,
him?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because it's really it was. If you look, but here's the thing: if you look at a lot of the old MMA guys, they have their marbles, but they're limping.
Oh yeah, like how Antonio Silva got his stuff all wrecked up in that
Yeah,
one match.
they got cracked up. Like all athletes. Well, the funny thing about anybody that does anything physical like that, remember Prince was taking the pain medications. Man, the guy's
Uh-huh.
like 5'3", jumping off of like 6-foot speakers with heels on for 40 years. I mean, you know, you ain't gonna do that and not
I
get
mean,
hurt.
well, yeah, I mean, your body does change after a while, and not to mention, like, all this stuff does catch up with you. But
Damn Skippy, you know.
some people are saying, some people are saying that's how Prince did die, but I think he died because he was sick, right?
From what I understand, so I looked at his. Of course, this is so stupid. But I looked at. I was looking. I was like, I got to see what the freaking autopsy report says. So I looked, and it was
Yeah.
like fentanyl poisoning. So, he he had an accidental overdose of fentanyl. I don't even. He might not even have known what the hell he was taking because nobody, like fentanyl is the kind of stuff you take when you got stage 25 cancer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they give it to you in lollipops, that like, because it's what was like 1,000 times more potent than heroin. Nobody's messed. There's literally the size of a grain of salt. If you put your finger on it, it can kill you. So no one's going to be going, yeah, throw some fentanyl in there. Yeah, I know the risk. Throw it in there. Nobody's doing that. you know that's the kind of thing where you
Yeah.
accidentally take it, or if the doctor goes, look, your leg's off, so you need to take some of this. We're gonna, and it's completely controlled, high quality lab. Because I was like, because it's just a weird thing. Because have you ever had any kind of like chronic? Have you had? I mean, injuries. Have you ever like injured yourself or broken anything?
No, no, I haven't had a significant injury like that. Even when I was practicing martial arts, I never had
Oh,
a significant injury
oh, what
like
did you practice? Which one?
that. Oh, shoot,
Oh,
Taekwondo.
I did a little Tang Sudo, and
Oh,
yeah,
you did?
and
Cool.
it was like it was the funny. I mean, that's a long time ago. Man, I don't remember none of that shit. But but the thing was, one of my favorite things was, and like when they put you on the mat to spar with someone who's like 4 belt ranks ahead of you, and
Yeah.
you know, and the guy's like, I'm gonna take it easy on him. I mean, it's like, I'm gonna take it easy on the kid. You know what I mean? I mean, he can't do nothing to me. And you accidentally catch him in the face with a sidekick in front of everybody.
Mm.
I think you know what happened next.
Oh yeah, things got real. You see, the thing is, well, you see, when I was 14, I was actually tall enough so I had to spar with
Mhm.
adults. So yeah, I did always have to fight against somebody that was ranks ahead of me and stuff. But I was like, hey, don't punch me in the face. And then when they did and they managed to get me,
Oh,
it was a real
oh,
fight
oh, oh,
then. And I stayed technical.
mm,
Don't get me wrong, but I stayed on them with it, man. It was a wild
yeah,
bout.
because yeah, I was a teenager. This guy was like a grown ass man, and I could tell I could tell he was pulling the punches and kicks, but he wanted to connect to make sure it was almost like this little mother sucker, because I'm no big dude, I'm 5'8", so it's like this mother sucker, what, you know, and it was like because I always had really fast hands and feet, so it was like pop. He's
Right.
like, oh hell no! I look at his face. The only thing missing, when you watch a movie and as a filmmaker, you understand how to add and layer music into film. So you know how,
Exactly.
like, if this was a movie, it it would be one of those things where I got him in the face, and here's the thing: I was not aiming at his face. I was aiming at his hip, but he was trying to set something up, and he zigged when he shouldn't have zagged, and you could hear it like that.
You caught him in the
And I
middle
was
of his
like,
move.
oh, I think he was gonna do it like a spinning heel kick or something. So he dipped down to put his leg up. At the same time, I had stepped to my right and threw the kick, and it was like that. And you can see him like, you get smacked right in the mouth, and you're like, right, and you can hear everybody around like, ooh. I'm like, don't ooh.
I mean, hey, that's a clean hit. I don't care what.
I'm like, oh shit, because and what made it worse is they all went ooh. I'm like, you just realized you literally added 20% to the force of the punch I'm about to take. It's the thing. I know all of a sudden we weren't even working on anything except for like punches and kick combinations. And I'm like, I know I'm getting taken down and choked after this. I already know what this is coming. There's gonna be a leg sweep. It's like, why don't you shut the hell up? If they had just not said anything, he probably would have just laughed it off like, good shot, kid. And then tune me up a little bit, but not hurt me. But back to the music. So this is the part where if you were filming this, you would be sitting there at your board, and you would go, okay, what music am I going to use for what happened after S. Anthony kicked him in the face? Oh, I got it. And it would want to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're getting the whole damn Enter the Dragon riff on that one.
It does not hit. It is. I do not hit. It hits all by itself.
It's all by itself. Oh yeah.
Oh God. I still remember. I still remember seeing the foot coming towards my face. I'm like, bop, and he didn't even hit me that hard, but I knew he just had to make his point. And it was right around there that I knew I effed up. And either fortunately or unfortunately, comedy started to pick up, and I was like, F punching people. Time to hit him with jokes. And then I stopped. I didn't go back. I went long enough where if someone in the street that wasn't trained attacked me, they would get their ass beat really quickly. But if it was someone that actually knew what they were doing, it would have been a problem. So it was like if I ran across like a high level boxer, I'd have to kick him in the kneecap real quick and get the hell out of there. If it was an actual martial artist who was like a green belt, I would have got my ass whipped up the street, back down the street. Person would have got a sandwich, came back out, whoop his ass some more, whoop my ass some more. And that's basically what the situation is. No, I want to get off of that for a second because I want to know about because you're doing a lot of things, obviously podcasting. I want to know about the filmmaking aspect of it because I've shot some like little punk ass videos, but you're an actual filmmaker who has the skills and talent and equipment. So what type of film do you? I mean, if you're going to shoot a film, like now somebody comes in and goes, look, low budget film, all right, we're going to give you the bread. You got to you know what low budget film costs. Okay, you do it, development deal, first look. Here's the X number of dollars. Go. What do you shoot? What do you make?
Okay, well, I would make a live action narrative of a on the road adventure kind of story, like where somebody has to travel across the world in order to try to connect with somebody he loves, in order to go ahead and make sure to change his life around because he's getting away from the old world that surrounds him. But you see, the thing is, so he can go ahead and get that new lifestyle he wants. Now, he might run into trouble on the way of getting there, because obviously that's how it goes. But then at the same time, he'll see that the new life that he's pining for might not exactly be the life that he wants. So it's about needs and wants.
So if anybody out there is actually listening who, wants to finance a film but by somebody with some skills, you idiots, here's your guy. Okay, because I mean, I just get a kick out of like because I'm fascinated by filmmaking because when I was younger, I would love to watch the films and I would pay attention to things that everybody else in the room watching the movie or watching the television program they weren't paying attention to those little tiny things. I'll put it to you this way: you know what made me a fan of Tom Cruise, and as a filmmaker, you're gonna relate to this completely. You remember A Few Good Men?
Oh, you can't handle the
Okay.
truth.
You know what? I love the film up until that point, but what locked me in, I'm going, you know what? I'm going to check out whatever Tom Cruise does next. I'm going to watch it. The last scene where he's in the courtroom by himself and he's
Yep.
looking around, and you could see him basically saying, just by his body language and the way he was looking around the room, one, I've exercised the fact that I have to prove anything to my father or whatever it is. Two, I belong here,
Mm.
and I just proved it. And I'm watching that, and I'm going, that little piece right there. Most people weren't even paying attention to that I was sitting with, but I'm
Nope.
staring at it. I'm like, God damn, I'm like, I want to see that I want to see that scene again. I like the way it was shot. I like, I like the way the sound was layered. I like the way the music comes up. I was like, I want to watch that scene. That 3 minutes. I want to watch it again.
True. Very true. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like everything about it, like the characterizations, the court case. I mean, that was a big deal. But it's just everything, the way it all laid out, and not to mention like his acting. Like you really got to see Tom Cruise. I mean, you got to see Tom Cruise as an actor in Risky Business too. But the way he was in that movie, you could see him like really being serious about his role. And then you wonder whether it was method acting or whether it was classically trained.
That's the thing, because I mean, you see people um, that are just naturals at things. They have really super good instincts. Other people will be trained into, okay, in this situation, think this way, this. And there are some people that literally can just look at the script and go, okay, I'm this person now. And they can
Mm-hmm.
just be that person. Have you ever taken you ever taken an acting class or anything like that?
Oh
Okay. Oh,
yes.
what am I saying? You went. What, are you a black guy too? Let me ask you another dumbass question. So,
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm totally tanned.
it's like I keep forgetting when I'm talking to other artists. Sometimes I have to, I keep forgetting. Sometimes you talk to like an author and then you forget about it. That was my fault. But I remember when I took my first stage class in acting, and I was literally watching. There was a guy next to me. He was doing the scene, and he had the lines, most of the lines. He was like an experienced stage guy, and I was essentially the straight man in the scene. And I watched people before me do the same scene with the guy because we're all learning how to do it. And they were always trying to
Yeah.
top the guy, right? And this dude was extremely talented. I can't even remember the bastard's name, but this dude was like, it's like when you watch Robert Guillaume from Benson acting and you see that laser like timing he has for delivering a line.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was
It
always
was like,
sharp
bah,
with
bah.
it,
This guy
man.
was like that. And I sat next to him, and all I could think was, I'm not going to compete with him. I'm just going to react to him physically. I'm not going to say a word. And it got the laughs, and I realized that the stand up thing translated to that. It's like like acting classes will translate to your film because now you understand what the person on the other side of the lens is going through, and as the director, you will be able to say, okay, now this is the scene where your dog catches on fire, and I need you to, I'm just imagining, when you have to give your actors instructions on you have to tell somebody what you want to shoot. How do you approach that? How do
Oh,
you
of
approach
course.
that? You more of a look, this, and this, or listen, this is what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's March, it's cold. What is your technique for that? you know.
Well, you usually have sides for your
Mm-hmm,
actors and stuff, sides from the script and
mm-hmm,
everything. So you have it all laid out on like what scene you want them for and stuff. And basically, yeah, while looks are a part, but you want to see if that person can relay the scene, can really sell and be that character. So that's what I'm always looking for, like in terms of a production. I'm always like, all right, sell this here, work this out, but don't try to upstage. Like, give me it. Tell me what it is. What's your motivation here? I want you to break up with him, and then I want you to cry, and then I want you over there to keep an eye on everything because you're the one that broke him up in the first place.
Do you? How often do you? Because as someone, the director of the film, obviously the director is the CEO of the project.
Oh yeah, he's the one holding
You
it
have
down, or he or she, I should say.
yeah.
He or she.
You're the one that has to see everything and look at the big picture and see. You have to see the end product. The actors don't necessarily have to see the end product. They just have to know. Like a pitcher doesn't have to go out there and try to field. He pitches. You know what I mean? The manager.
That's about right.
Manager has to do all the shifts and stuff. So, but how often? Because I think I want to see if my philosophy on being part of a production is similar to yours. That's why I want to ask you this. Now, how often do you see people try to, they try to turn alpha and essentially try to turn it into a them project or them scene or a them short film, and as you said just now, upstage the other performers? Because you can see it sometimes when even in a big budget film, you'll see it and you go, "What are you doing?" It's like, what do you think? I mean, does that happen a lot, or have you been fortunate to get actors and actresses that understand it's a team sport?
Man, if I had a nickel for how every time I had to recast somebody, I mean, it's just, because you got these people that, I don't know if it's ego or if it's mommy told them they were special and all that stuff, but you got some of them out here that think they're just up here when they're really not. See, I like it when everybody is unified, and see, when I'm on a set, and if I know that you are really, really too far, I'll happily let you go. But I also know this: if you're locked in and I'm locked in, I'm gonna make sure that you're down a few levels. You understand what I'm saying? I will break you down and say, hey, guess what? You're good at what you do, but at the same time, this is not all about you. It's about all of us, and we're gonna sell this thing the way we need to, not with your ego. That's when you put on the dad pants and you got to just be like, I'm gonna crack my belt. You see what I'm
saying? I see this, because I wanted to ask you about it because I know you're a filmmaker. Because I know that I've always in my game, my part of the game, which is like the comedy and all that kind of thing. And because when I watch a movie, I would my whole philosophy as a performer in someone else's film would be, because when you see, I remember this is an example. This is what I'm talking about. The movie Heat, Niro and Pacino, right? And one of the people that was interviewing one of them goes, "Boy, what was it like working with those guys? I mean, De Niro versus Pacino and versus like they were competing." And I'm sitting there going, if you really think about it, if you're a smart person and you're part of a project where there are a lot of people working on it, it's a collaborative effort, and it's essentially, to me, a football team insofar as I want everybody to eat. Because if everybody eats, everybody's happy. If everybody's happy, everybody's putting forth their full effort, and we get the best result. I don't want to upstage the other actor. I want that actor to tear the game up, right? Then when it's my part, do my thing. I'm gonna blow it down, and we both because we both tear the game up. I make sure he or she gets his. He or she makes sure I get mine. The movie's going to be better. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to just push somebody to the side, because the audience is supposed to be disappearing into the world that the collective is creating. And if it's out of sync, it's going to look out of sync. They will not connect with the project, and they will not watch the movie again, because I'm pretty sure everything you've shot, you don't want people to watch it once and then throw out the wrapper like they just ate a cupcake. You want it to be a restaurant where they come back and dine regularly.
Exactly. And then there's times where it's like people will, like, you got certain people like with different ways of how things should be done, but there's only a way to get it done. And so when you get the project done, everybody has to be in sync. You can't have the one person bury themselves out, the other person goes to the trailer, all that kind of stuff. You cannot have that. It's like this, like, because the more something's delayed, the more money you spent on this thing. You see what I'm saying? Because some of those people, especially your actors, they don't get paid hourly like, say, like a key grip would. They get paid by the day. So the more they hold it back, the more money they get and take from the production. And that's not cool. You want to finish your stuff so that if you have like your somebody from the studio looking in at what you made, know that this stuff is getting done. You see, it's a team effort. And if they don't understand that, then they need to go.
I'm pretty sure putting that budget together is a huge pain in the buttocks. Because see, the thing that people don't get is, and it doesn't really matter what art form it is. Like when you record your podcast, they don't realize what you put into it just to get to the point where you're recording it. Then you record it, and then the stuff that happens afterwards, they just think, "Oh, it's just an hour and a half, right?" No,
hey, bro.
Like,
not at all.
No, I talk for an hour and a half to the guest, but no, and it's the same thing with stand up, and it's like I don't just show up to the club, talk for an hour, and then go home and go, "Yep, that was fun." I'm going to completely ignore that till tomorrow night when I show up again, out of, spontaneously. No, rehearsal, get out of here. Look at my notes. No, make adjustments. Get out of here.
Or hey, it gets even better when they realize that they try to think that you didn't even write anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, when you get to how long have you been doing the podcast?
I've been, let's see, J-Man Show era
I'm talking about the Big Dog. How long have you been doing the Big Dog? The flagship.
Oh yeah, the J-Man Show, 4 years.
See, you have long. I keep telling people, once you get past the third year, you have officially moved into OG status.
Yeah, that's
in the podcasting world, because I've seen people pod fade after 5 or 6 episodes. Because it's like, because if you were here right now in this office, you'd see it's like I got. Oh, actually, it's like, you're a filmmaker, so I'm pretty sure you got cameras and crap all over the place. I got mics, cords. I got a big dry erase board with all kinds of crap on it, calendars, notepads. I got stacks of notepads with jokes in them and things I might watch the next guest, or all this kind of stuff here. And it takes a lot. And what happens is they think that, and you've heard enough podcasts, obviously being around for 1,000 years, that when you listen to them, it's just usually, a lot of times it's like 5 people. And another thing, breasts, right? Yeah, breasts. Asses, right? He said ass, I said breasts. And they're all yelling. Right? And I'm going, it's like, I understand the concept of, because that's one of the fun things in life, is to be around a bunch of people you dig and you're laughing and joking, and that's great. And you're all, as a part of that group, it's funny. But if you're listening to it, it's like you're more likely to go, "Excuse me, waitress."
Yeah, right.
You ask them to shut the fuck up.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if you noticed, but then again, you probably have. You've been around me for a while. Like when I was doing the Cyclone, it was a whole bunch of different people, and I was hardly on that show, but I owned and produced it. You see, and the guy that we had on there, and he just didn't get it. He thought that everything that came out of his mouth was 100% gold, and I said, "Yeah, gold shit. It wasn't anything good for us to work with. You either get involved with the group, study this format, because there's a format to everything, Sure that thing had a format." I was like, "See that format? Do not deter from that format unless you really have something to say." And then he just failed. You know what I mean? And I was like, "Oh, you got to go. I'm putting the show on hiatus. Leave it at that."
It's a difficult thing, and it's a difficult thing. Now, your first love is the filmmaking.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so because I'm always curious about the podcast folk, because I know what got me into doing the podcast, but it's a weird thing to do. Like, it really is, because filmmaking is not a weird thing to do. Because if you say to somebody, I'm J.M. Brady, I'm a filmmaker. Oh, really? But if you go, I'm a podcaster. Oh, okay. You are you? Right? Until now, when people start
Well,
now understanding it's a real thing now. But in the beginning, when I started 7 years ago, people were like, man, get that shit out. you know, brother, I seen you on television and doing your jokes in the ring. Just do the damn jokes. Stop wasting your damn time talking because you do what I do, and that is a solo
right.
podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's like? I mean, people think that it's difficult to hold an audience's attention for that long with one person talking. It's very difficult, because
It
you have to
is.
like the person you're listening to. You have to, because I'm going to sit there for
Yeah.
30 to 45 minutes listening to somebody I don't like. If I don't like your voice, I don't like what you're talking about, and you're annoying, I'm the hell out of there.
Yeah. I am the same way, dude.
I mean, I remember turning to a podcast, and I forgot what it was. I read the notes, and I'm going, oh, man. And I'm embarrassed by this. I'm embarrassed by this. I forgot what the name of the podcast was. And I listen to podcasts. I try to listen to my friends, like all of you guys, but I mean, you can't listen to everybody every day. You know that. Like, I don't expect all my friends to be listening to
That's
my, they
true.
can't listen to me every episode. I don't expect that crap. But the people that listen to this right
Right.
now, your punk asses better keep listening to me every episode. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Hi guys. Anyway,
You know better, man. You got to stop threatening your
hey,
fans like that. I mean, I'm feeling the.
listen, fans. You understand? Oh, your punk. No, I'm just kidding. But
Dude, I mean, I think I'm still. I think I'm still feeling the pinch from that mini bite that I said. But
it's just it's a weird thing to do this. But
it
why did
is.
you? I mean, but it's like you knew you had the filmmaking skill, and that takes a
I
lot
do.
of work, bro. I mean, good God, man. And I just edit 2 podcasts and write comedy and stuff. So I know how I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes doing this crap. So
Oh, I know.
so since that is so labor intensive, and then you come to this, which is also labor intensive.
Labor.
What made you go, yeah, I'm gonna do podcasts? What drew you to this?
I guess because I always wanted to do radio in addition to it,
Mm-hmm.
because, well, my whole thing is J360 production. 360 would be radio, TV, film,
Mm-hmm.
photography, and dabble in music sometimes. But my music's more of a hobby. That's not anything I'm trying to make
Mm-hmm.
money with. But yeah, it's just always been something there for me. And I was like, well, since it seems like nobody's really wanting to work together and do any independent films right now, let me just go ahead and use radio for a while. And then podcasting was right there. I was like, all right, let's try it then. And you see, I had a show that was planned for that. And then, well, working with people sometimes, if you're not on their schedule, you're not on a schedule. But I was like, nah, I got the skill set. I'm never taking days off. And then I'm like, yeah, here we go, J-Man show. Boom.
It's. Did you always plan on? I mean, I know you had the other shows, obviously, but with the flagship show, just like I said, we're very similar in a way, probably because we grew up like 72, like 60 miles from each other, right?
Pretty much.
It's like and so we're the same soil, same TV show, but and so both of our flagship shows are basically us talking. Um, it's one of those things where, I mean, I know that you like radio. I like radio as well, and I always like but I like the part of the show, if there was a talk show where, ironically, I have a talk show where it was like where the guests would talk, and then they would maybe talk for a half an hour, and then they would start bringing in the callers. But the
Oh,
problem
yeah.
was, they were really good performers. This is when I lived in LA. Really good radio performers, really good storytellers, good voices, engaging people, smart, really fun. So I'm sitting, man, this is some good stuff I'm listening to. This lady's good, or this guy's good. And that would be the first half an hour. And then they start bringing on the phone callers, and the only thing missing was.
You do that so good. We don't get the sound effect of that. That's it.
And that's the only thing missing because, of course, if you get a good phone caller, then that man, the show will sail by. It's great conversation, but a lot of times, man, there would be some dude, it would just be somebody trying to pick a fight for no reason, or someone who.
Oh
This
yeah.
is like the dumbest thing, and I always was fascinated by that part. That's why I wanted to do the solo, but I also like this, like we're having right now. This is the conversation we're having on this show right now. It's probably 97% similar to if I was in Delaware and I saw you walking down the street. I'm like, hey, man, where you going? Get something to eat. Okay. And it would sound just pretty much like this.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's why I created J360 Radio Live, so I could go ahead and chat with you guys. Yeah. And on an uncut format, because I know some of y'all joined the Navy. So the point is. That's my gift to y'all.
What is the that was just an interesting thing. I mean, because that's why I wanted to get you on because I just wanted to I wanted to talk to somebody who, obviously filmmaking that fascinates me as well, as we stated, and also another person who, like me, does a solo show and knows how to hold a person by themselves. It's really because it's a weird thing to be able to do, because I think that you just have to have it. I think you just had to have it. I don't think you could have learned that in college.
Oh, yeah.
If you either have that or you don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Just how do you?
Well, yeah, I like to say that, a lot of my stuff just comes natural sometimes, because even when I signed up for acting classes back in high school, like, I've just always been good at improv.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always had a way of doing things and talking to people, communicating, and I was like, all right, well, why not look forward to my career in media? And I'm giving it a shot every day. It's hard as hell, but I'm in it to win it.
Now, let me ask you this, my friend. Since you have your equipment.
Yeah.
Right. You have the technical knowledge.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Allegedly. I mean, I've never actually seen the cameras. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you really. I mean, you say, but.
Oh, I got them. Yeah. Believe it or not, I do.
Yeah, like, that's one of the first. That's one of the first things. People were laughing at me when I started to do this because I didn't know what recorders I wanted. I started to acquire everything. I acquired everything but the recorders. And people go, like, why do you have cords and all these microphones and stupid lapel mics and crap when you don't even have requested? Well, they're XLRs. It's not like, it's not like they're going to, I'll just make sure that the recorder has XLR inputs. I don't, it's not like only one brand has that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, but what I wanted to know is, are you going to go on YouTube and shoot some short stuff for YouTube?
Oh yeah, I already have a YouTube, man. It's called J360 TV.
I'm talking about short films specifically for you. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just wondering if that was something you were going to do.
Yeah, that's happening. Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Now, do these films require nudity?
Once again, S-Man, you just sprinkled too much into the soup. But yeah, you're right. It probably will. Women, though.
Damn, I was trying to get a job, bro.
Yeah. You can get a job. You can mic them up. Go ahead and you mic them up right there, man. Just make sure that we don't see the mic.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not. After I've seen what happened with a lot of these other people out there with the harassment stuff, I'm one of those people that no matter how deep you look into my life, no one will be able to say I harassed them.
That's right, man. Don't show no pleasure at all in this.
That,
Do what I do what I do and smile outside. There
because
you
I'm
go.
telling you, it's just like because I'm just so glad that I know for a fact, like there's no Kevin Hart clips. When they when they found some stuff, you know,
Oh
it's like
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know there's some off color stuff, like dirty stuff, shows that I
Well,
wrote, but I'm
yeah.
sitting there going, I got 400 episodes of a podcast. It ain't gonna be that hard to find that shit. But
Yeah.
you know,
Right?
and tens of thousands of live shows. I mean, it's but nothing that people are gonna go cancel him.
That's the thing too. Like, like why would they try to? We must have said something right. That's the thing. Whenever somebody trying so hard to cancel you based off of any and anything they
Mm.
can find, you did something right. That's all there is to it. Because Ricky Gervais says this best. Just because they're offended doesn't mean they're right. See, sometimes we're just gonna have to ride that ocean of
Yeah,
controversy. Because I don't like censorship like that, because all right, I do comedy too, not on the vein of you, but you do comedy, and we're doing our job. Like if you're coming out to see us live, if you're coming to a J360 live show, I'm doing my job. It's not like I personally had you come out there to see it. I invited the public to see it.
that's the weird thing is when and it's really good if you get to the level where people come specifically to see you because now it's like, look, you already knew what you were signing up for. You knew
Right.
it's like when people get mad at Dave Chappelle. It's like Dave Chappelle's been a star since the '90s. You already
Exactly.
know he's going to say some weird shit. So why are you? It's like he's going to say some off-color stuff and some wild stuff because he likes to tell these big stories and he has to draw the correlations between these little pieces and then all tie it up again at the end of the bit. That's his formula. Piece, 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 piece. Tie them together. Surprise! Here's the joke. Bang. Next, and he does it again. And so
That's it.
and that's what I like about Gervais also is like you can't go and look up stuff that Gervais said that offends you because he will walk up in front of you and say, here's some offensive stuff I'm about to say. And then he'll say it right in your face on television during an
Yeah.
award show.
Yeah.
And I'm similar insofar as I'm not hiding the stuff that I'm saying. All you got to do is listen to my podcast, come see me live. You know, I'm going to say what I want to say right in your face. You ain't got to dig up
Exactly.
nothing. You know what I mean?
And I, and I, yeah, exactly. And I mean, being unapologetic about the whole thing. It's kind of like if you and I were
Mm-hmm.
roasting each other. It would be the funniest damn
Mm-hmm.
thing. And it'd be like, and at the end of the day, we'd shake hands about it. Sure, it'd probably wring each other's neck, but at
Well,
the same time, it was
if
funny.
you
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you knew the friends that I started doing comedy with, like in '86, those dudes, the
Uh-huh.
stuff we said to each other around the table, if someone had a transcript of it, you would think that you would think that there was. Listen, I'm seeing all these things being said, but I don't see any break here for the fight. Should, shouldn't they be fighting right
Right.
now? But we're all laughing our asses off because, first of all, we all love each other. We're all comics. We
Yeah.
know a lot about each other, so we can, of course, destroy each other. And if you're the victim of it, I've been on, I'm sitting there when there's like 5 or 6 guys tearing me up, and I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm just waiting. I'm going, hey, which one is going to get it? He had too many jokes. Let me get this guy. And I blame, you know.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
afterwards, we're laughing our ass off. This guy's now that I know that said some stuff funny to me about me in like 1990. I ran into him. I hadn't seen him about 5 years. He walks up, yo, ass man. Remember the time the cookies? I'm like, oh, you still remember that bullshit? He's, you know, we're laughing at it. Two grown ass men. At the time I was like 48, and he was like 55. We're two grown ass men, middle aged men, laughing in the street about some. I forgot what it was. It was something really stupid. And if he actually walked into the room right now and he started, I go, oh, and I could tell you the whole story. But because but whatever it was like really dumb. And you could see people around us looking at us like, why are they laughing about cookies? But we knew the story. But
I mean, exactly. See, things like that, that's what it's supposed to be about. Like when I get about 60 or 70, that's what I want to be laughing about. I don't want to be thinking about all that sour shit. I want to be laughing my ass off about the people I met on this journey and
Oh
where I'm going. And then at that point, I'm already in the grave. So
yeah,
yeah,
I'll
I'm
be honest
laughing.
with you, man. It's like it's really weird because you're 33 and you're just at that point at your age. Because 34, you got that other 34, and then there's 35, 36, 37, 38, 40. If you think you don't give a shit what people are saying now, 7 years from now, as much as you don't give a crap now, when you hit 40, oh my God, it's like you get wings. Right? And it's like, and
Yes.
I'm 51. Oh, it's like, not only do I not care what people think, I don't even acknowledge the fact that you thought about something. So it's like,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Uh,
great. It's I swear to goodness, and I love watching older guys who care less than I do.
right. Like I love it, man, because that's I think on the first season of my show it said that. I was like, y'all better enjoy this now because guess what? When I hit about 40, I'm not
Oh,
giving a damn.
and people think, and I know you believe me, but I'm telling you, it was really weird. It was like you woke up one day, like you woke up on your 40th birthday. I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm in good health, good, working out, pretty good. All right. I don't feel old. Nothing's creaking. Doctor says I'm in good shape and everything's great. And it's almost like this guy walks in, smoke wafts up, and like somebody that looks like you that's 90 walks in and goes, "Hi, put these put these
Oh
wings on."
man.
Hey, okay. I
That- okay.
I really don't give a crap that you gave me the wings. Ah, it's
That's
working.
right. I can fly. Hey, it's gonna happen one way or another. Either getting that way or drinking a Red Bull that day. One way it's
And
gonna
it's
happen.
just a wonderful thing. And I just remember my uncles when they were before they passed away, they were in their 70s, whatnot. And I'm sitting there laughing because I'd never seen, and these guys are funny dudes, but I've never seen dudes just. I was like, good God Almighty! I mean, I thought I didn't give a crap. These dudes got 25 years on me in the mid 70s, pushing 80. I'm sitting going. I mean, it's like one guy had like he was like skinny fat, right? So he had like his
Right.
pecs was kind of sagged out a little bit, and he walked to the door just like that. Walked outside, stand outside talking to everybody. Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, "You ain't gonna put a shirt on?" It's like, for what? He says, "N word. I'm damn near 80. I don't give a f what nobody thinks. I'll do jumping jacks on the porch right now. I don't give a." I was like, okay, all right. I was like, I think I've inherited some of that because I'm at the time I was just turning like I was telling you, right around 40, and I was like, oh man, I can see that coming now because it's like, okay, who cares? F y'all, f everybody, you know? And that's the way I like it. As James Brown would say, that's the way I like it. That's the way it is. I got mine. Don't worry about it. All right.
That's it.
Now, Jay, do me a favor, man. We want to wrap this thing up, and I enjoyed this, bro. We got to do this again. We
Oh
got to do
yeah,
this again.
I want to be a part of the reoccurring visiting, man, because I heard Rob was on here and I still got to visit his show.
Yeah. Well, you consider that you just consider that done, my friend, because you can consider that done, my brother.
Oh,
Hit him, hit him off with your specs
awesome.
again. Hit him off with your time.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, on the wanted list, according to the FBI, I am Jay. I'm J. M. Brady, CEO of J360 Productions, aka known as J Man. And you can watch some of my exploits or on J360 TV on YouTube or Twitch. And you can also check out J360 Radio at Spreaker.com/J360 Radio or J360Radio.podbean.com or anywhere that podcasts are available at. Just put J360 Radio in and things will pop up. Most specifically, the J
That's
Man
right,
Show.
my friends. Check my brother out. Trust me. Check him out. Trust me. Check him out. Trust me. Brother, thank you very much. We will do this again. You have been locked in.
Oh, we have.
You have been locked in. So we will be happy to be back.
All
Much
right.
love to you, my brother. We'll talk later.
Nice.
Take
Yep.
care.
Laters, man. Yep. Take care.
Okay, folks, what did I tell you? Was that fun or was that fun? I told you were going to have a great time. And I also want to tell you something else. Thank you. I appreciate you listening to me every week. Much love to all of you, and I will see you again next time. Much love to you. Take care.